Hello, my name is Rohak and I'm the founder of EmpowerCode. In the previous episode, we discussed a project outline for creating a website. The first step of that guide was creating a layout using HTML. But what even is HTML? Let's find out. HTML, commonly known as Hypertext Markup Language, is used to create page functionality in web pages from scratch. But what does it all mean? Well, hypertext represents links, the transporters that connect different web pages across a website. Markup language speaks to the way computers communicate with each other in order to control how text is shown and processed. When you combine links with text processing, you get a web page layout, the foundation of a functional website. HTML relies on two elements to properly function: tags and attributes. Tags are used to denote the beginning of an HTML element and are often enclosed in angled brackets. Attributes contain additional pieces of information and are located within the HTML tag or a group of tags. If you follow the two golden rules that I'm about to share with you, you should be good. Number 1. The vast majority of tags must be closed and opened with the element information or attributes contained within. Number 2. When using tags, they must be closed in the order in which they were opened. As long as you remember those two rules, you should be good. Now that we know the basics of HTML, let's delve into the structure of an HTML web page and see what really happens behind the scenes. Each page comes with the doctype HTML tag, meaning the language being written is HTML. Next comes the HTML tag, which means that we are officially writing in HTML. Once these two introductory tags have been implemented, we move on to the meat of a web page, the text, images, and elements within. We do this through the head tag, which specifies the metadata for each page. Essentially, metadata is anything associated with search engines and computer programs. Examples of metadata in HTML include titles and meta tags, where the information about the document is stored, like character encoding, the name of the author, and the description. After our metadata and titles have been created, the body tag comes into the picture, where most of our HTML will be written, including headers, paragraphs, text, and images. These four tags, doctype, HTML, head, and body, are absolutely essential in creating a web page. Think of it like an essay. The doctype tag represents the MLA heading of a paper. The HTML tag is a collection of contents located within the heading. The head tag contains the title of the piece and other relevant details. And finally, the body represents all the elements within. Let's move on to the body tag. What really goes on inside? Well, the body contains text, images, tables, and forms. Often it is started by a heading, a large piece of text that really captures the audience's attention. There are 6 headers, the first being the largest, which is known as the H1 tag, and the 6th being the smallest, which is known as the H6 tag. If you want to add text, simply use the P tag, which denotes a paragraph or a block of text. If you want to add expression to your text, use the EM tag for emphasis, the B tag to bold text, and the I tag to italicize text. The final tags that you need to know are the OL and UL tags, which stand for ordered list and unordered list, respectively. The OL tag represents an ordered list of contents, each one denoted by the LI tag. For the UL tag, also known as a bullet point list, it contains no numbers, and like the ordered list, each element is represented by a LI tag. Well, what are we waiting for? It's time to put these tags to use and create a website of our own. Let's get started. Alright, I am now in brackets, and right on my screen, as you guys can see, is the HTML layout template for creating a basic web page. So on the top, you have the doctype HTML tag, which states that we are writing the language of HTML. Next, we see the HTML tag, which signifies that we are officially writing in HTML. Finally, we have some head tags and body tags, which are essential because the head tag contains our titles, metadata, and other relevant information, and our body pretty much contains everything else in our webpage. Now, if you guys notice, we have some comments written out on our webpage. So a comment is basically written with a tag followed by an exclamation mark, and finally, to end it off, there's an arrow, which is basically 2 dashes and a greater than sign. So this is how you write comments, and comments are useful because they make our website readable to an outsider or a person who pretty much doesn't know anything about our code. Now that we have this summary out of the way, we can finally go ahead and get started. Let's start off by specifying a title which will appear in the tab of our webpage. So we do this like so. We type in our title, Then we go ahead and type in the name of our website. So as you can see, we now have our title set up. If we save this and preview this in a live preview feature, we now see that our tab shows up as the car gallery. This is very important because it lets our user know from the get-go what our website is about. Next, in our body, let's start off with an H1 tag and really grab our audience's attention. But before we do this, let's place a header at the top. Now, what is a header? Well, the header tag is essentially the top banner of a page and is always located at the top of a page. Here, we find the main page title and usually a navigation bar linking to different pages on our website. So here, if we type in header, we can go ahead and specify a title for our website. Great, now we finally have our header in place. Now it's time to implement our H1 tag. Great, now that we've specified a great header and an H1 tag for our website, it is clear what our website is about, and this really adds to the user experience. Now let's introduce some P tags, lists, and headers in the heart of our webpage. But if we simply write them out sequentially, our code will look messy and unorganized. We don't want this. This is exactly where the div tag comes in. The div tag is used to section code and create a clean looking interface. With the div tag, if anyone reads our code, they will understand everything that's happening because it's sectioned out into different parts and pieces. So if we go ahead and write div, now we are officially in our section. So within this, we can write H1s and P tags particularly specialized to a certain aspect of our website. Let's say we wanted a paragraph or a blog to be specifically about cats, we'd put them in a separate div tag to distinctify that they are a separate piece of information. So here, let's add some comments, some P tags, and finally an H3 tag to close it out. Alright, we started off with a comment, and this comment basically tells a user who's reading our code what this div tag is meant for. Alright, now we have our P tag in place, but we want to have some emphasis and expression to this P tag, specifically on the word automobiles. Because automobiles is a focal theme in our website, we would obviously want to convey a higher sense of importance to it than other characters. So how do we do this? Well, we simply write span and copy paste the character or characters we want into the span tag. This really adds an element of emphasis, and now we can uniquely and individually style the color, font style, or properties of automobiles. So this is done because as a website creator, I want to highlight words that hold relevance to the theme or central topic of my page. Great, now that we've added our two P tags, it's time to add an H3 tag to lead into the next section of our website. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, we've added our H3 tag, and looking at our website, this looks great. For a basic web page layout, we are doing a great job. As you can see, we clearly specified the purpose of our website, and we're sort of leading into the benefits and advantages of our website. This is exactly what we want, so keep following along and stay tuned to this video to learn more. Next, let's add some unordered and ordered lists displaying the advantages and benefits of our website. Alright guys, I just wrapped up, and as you guys can see, I'm using a UL tag, which means I'm creating a bulleted list, and within I have two LI tags, which basically are the elements within the list. And here I've chosen to put a vehicle in the span tag because I want to make it stand out from the rest of the characters. So now that you guys see how I did this, let me create an ordered list so you guys can see how that works as well. Alright guys, I just wrapped up with the ordered list, and here I've added 3 li tags, meaning 3 numeric elements within my ordered list, and none of them I've placed in a span tag because I feel that none of the characters really stick out. But notice that above the ordered list, I've added an H3 tag which describes what the list is about. Looking at our website now, and this looks absolutely fantastic for a raw layout of an HTML markup. We have some bold headers and titles which stick out when the user first comes to our website, and finally, going down the row, we see some lists that explain the real benefits and advantages of a website. Awesome, but this isn't the only page we want to have on our website. We want to have a page solely dedicated to showing the cars themselves. This will be the car gallery. So to create the car gallery, let's go ahead and click File, click New, and then we come up with another untitled file, but as we discussed in our previous video, we simply click Save As, and save this as cargallery.html. Now that we have this file specified and it's located in our project folder, let's go ahead and click save and start coding. Great, now that we have a new car gallery HTML page, let's get our basic structure down. Awesome, now our layout is specified and we can get to work. For now, we will simply add an image and a caption. We will, however, come back and refine this page to get it looking as best as possible. But first, we need to learn about the image tag and how it works. The image or IMG tag represents an image, but there are 4 main attributes that you should take note of. The first is the src element, which contains the actual image file that you want to display. The second is the alt text, which describes the image in a couple short words. The final 2 are the height and the width, which specify the actual dimensions of the image. Alright, now it's time to get our image inside. Alright guys, I just finished up with my image tag. Here, as you guys can see, I specified the src attribute as chironpursport.jpg because this is the image file I want to use, and the alt text is Bugatti Chiron Sport image because this lets the coder or anyone looking at our code know what our image is actually about. Below the image, I added a fig caption tag, which adds a small description to our image. Looking at this on our website now, and while this is very poorly formatted, we will come back to this later, but I just want to show you guys that this is the image, and below, as you guys can see, is the figure caption. Alright, we just added a p tag which describes the page we're going to link to, and finally we have our actual anchor tag which links to the page itself. So here's the href which specifies the page, and finally here's the text which shows up when the user looks at the link itself. Looking at this on our website now, this looks great because we not only have a description, but we also have the hyperlink right after, which prompts the user to go ahead and visit our car gallery. Now the last thing we have to do is close out our main page with a new line and a footer. So the way we do this is we add a BR tag which denotes a new line, or basically a space after our text, and then we add in our footer. As you can see, I just added a footer, and if you look at what is inside, you see that a footer is often used for the technicalities of a website, such as where it's licensed through, what years it is licensed through, and what is it all about. Now we have covered the raw basics to any HTML site, but are we just going to stop here? Absolutely not. In the next videos, you will learn about HTML semantic tags, how to style pages from scratch with CSS, and create a beautiful website of your own. Thank you so much for joining me today, and let's continue our expedition into the world of websites.